What I want to do now is discuss one of the first steps that we feel is absolutely necessary to progress into the future and acquire this new, slim, healthy you. And that first step is forgiveness. So I hope that doesn't turn you off, because forgiveness is not about any religious belief. It's not about facing somebody who's abused you and, groveling for forgiveness. That's not what we're discussing here at all. What you have to do is forgive the person's grip on your very being, is what we're talking about. And the most important person that you have to forgive for your past mistakes is you. Yes, you. You know how many mistakes you feel you've made over the past years that has gotten you into this state of obesity? If you're anything like me, it was get up in the morning determined and ready to make this the first day of the rest of your life. To make this the day when you actually started doing something for yourself. This was the day that you were going to make all kinds of changes. And then when you went to bed at night, you sat or lay on the bed and you said to yourself, damn it, why can't I just make it through one day? What is wrong with me? I don't understand. That feeling of frustration and just not being able to manage your promises to yourself properly is very frustrating. And there's nobody more important than you. So when you can't keep a promise to yourself, you feel like you've let yourself down. You feel disappointed and frustrated with yourself. So that's what I mean when I say that you are going to have to take on person number one, yourself, and actually forgive yourself for all of that disappointment, for all of those mistakes you made throughout the years, for everything that you've done to make yourself feel bad about yourself. Then, when you're finished with that and you finally come to terms with the fact that you can wipe the slate clean as far as your mistakes to yourself goes, the next step is then going to be forgiving others. Now, I know there's been a big run in the media about using past problems to sort of condone a weight issue. And we know some very famous people who have had some very serious past situations going on, and as a result, blame that on their weight gain. But that being said, you can't use that excuse anymore, because what we are going to do is you're going to forgive those people. Now, I'm not talking about walking up to somebody who's maybe sexually molested you or abused you at school or, just emotionally abused you from day one. I'm not talking about walking up to somebody like that and forgiving them into their face. What I'm talking about is you forgiving them in your heart and soul and releasing any connection that you might have with this person. And that's what you're going to accomplish by forgiving them. This is not about um, an actual one-on-one forgiveness situation. It's not the 12-step program, even though it probably is based on the same theory that unless you forgive and clean the past, you cannot progress into the future. So with that in mind, just know that these are two very important elements of what it's going to take to get you from where you are to where you're going into the future as a slim, trim, healthy person. Now, let me just define for you, if I haven't already, what the past is, what our definition of the past is. The past is something that you accumulate. It's like a movie, an endless movie running behind you all the time. And I don't mean running as in running with feet. I mean running as in rolling and rolling and rolling. And it's back there. It's behind you. And it has taken on snippets of every single part of your life from the day you were even conceived. And all of that is stored in your memory banks, and again, your subconscious mind. But you know where our mistake comes in? We start running snippets of that, usually the most effective or emotionally strong snippets, which entails those abuses and reasons why we give ourselves for why we are the way we are. We start running those back and playing them over and over and over again in front of ourselves in our current memories. Like you turn on reruns of I Love Lucy. You keep rerunning these things over and over and over again in your mind to the point where you actually believe that they have a grip on you, when in fact they're still running behind you with that movie called your past. They will never, ever return. You are thriving off the memory of the event, not the event itself. And by thriving, that can also mean damaging yourself. I mean, you can be using a very negative event and feeding your negative emotions with that every single day. That's what I mean by thriving. I mean, continuing on in the pattern that you've been existing in for quite some time. So, what we want to do is eliminate that and eliminate the opportunity for you to hold on to any of these negative situations. Now, your subconscious mind knows exactly what happened, when it happened, how it happened, and the effect it's had on you. So hypnosis, going into your subconscious mind, can eliminate all of those episodes very quickly. And we're actually going to do just that. You're going to get freed of all of that nonsense that you have been using as a reason why you have to abuse yourself in the manner in which you've been doing. Now let's briefly go over what we mean when we say your future. Now, a lot of people think of their future as something down the road, say their 20th birthday, their 30th birthday, their retirement plan, or a wedding that they have to go to, or a vacation they're planning in a couple of years, or something that's not really very current, way down there. Well, you know something, I'm here to tell you that is not your future. It's part of your future, but it's not your future. Your future is right here, right now, this very second. And this very second is going to turn into the next minute. And the next minute's going to turn into the next hour. And that next hour is going to turn into the next day. And that day is going to turn into a week. And so on and so forth. But it starts right here. It starts with this. Watch. That is your future. And you've had many futures since I started talking to you right here today. And I've had many futures. We are changing every single second. In fact, probably many times a second. So to say that you are going to change your future, well, the only way to do that is to start right here and right now. Because we've already wasted several minutes of your future since we began this discussion. So I want you to start committing to yourself that you are going to change your future, but you're going to change the current future. The future that is right here, right now, today. The one you're living inside of, not the one you're anticipating, that there's no guarantee that you're actually going to get there. You don't know if you're ever going to face retirement. You don't know what's going to happen between now and then. So stop wasting a whole life between now and then, anticipating that that's what you're going to enjoy. You don't know. You only know that you have this moment that you're living inside of right now. And every one of us can live one moment at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. So let's start working our lives from that thought process and not a retirement or the wedding or the romance or the bathing suit or the summer. Let's cut out that thought process and we will teach you exactly how to do that, all right?